Hey everyone, Tech OG here, representing those who are 40 and up who love their tech. And this video is going to be an informational video for those who are looking to upgrade their own computer or PC. So when it comes to purchasing a PC or even upgrading a PC, mainly upgrading because you may already have one already, to find one now, in these days, it can be a pretty daunting task because there's a whole lot of companies making a whole lot of computers, and you really don't know which brand is the best, quote unquote, the best. Which brand has features that you want, things like that. And there's so many review videos of PCs where you look at the review video and it sounds like a good PC, but then when you get it yourself, it's not as good as what the review video says. So you kind of have to know for yourself, and in most circumstances, what you're actually looking for in a computer that you want it to do. So basically, 9 out of 10 computers will do pretty much what you want it to do. So when it comes to buying a computer, it's really not that difficult in that aspect where 9 out of 10 has the same features. So it's all basically up to preference and your wallet. So for me, I've had this computer I'm about to show you right now, and I've raved about this computer right here. This is the Samsung Galaxy Book, and this computer, this PC, has been my beloved PC for a while. I mean, I've done videos on this before, so you should know about it. And what really attracted me to this PC, or this genre or category of PCs, this is a 2-in-1, which basically means that this is a PC that looks like a tablet. So it's thin, it's light, it feels great. I mean, like I said, it's a full-fledged PC, but it's a 2-in-1 where you can use a detachable keyboard such as this one right here. I'll get to this computer in a minute because this is my upgrade, but it has a detachable keyboard, it has a pen to it, and it can do a bevy of different things. I mean, like I said, it's a tablet PC, but I definitely, like I said, love the tablet form. So, like I said, the weight is great. Of course, it functions like any other tablet, PC or computer. But like I said, the pen function, especially for me, being a music teacher and using this for work, the pen function is just phenomenal. And let me show you a quick example. So let's say I'm teaching a song to students at school, and I want to highlight something in the song because I used to use a smartboard in my classroom, but got rid of the smartboard and I bought myself a 60-inch HD TV for my classroom, and have this connected wirelessly through the Microsoft wireless display adapter. So kids see what I see on the screen, and like I said, if I need to highlight something, you can easily circle it. Look how cool that is. So when I circle it here, kids will see that real time on the screen, and it's easy to erase. So like I said, just this particular thing for work is phenomenal when it comes to, like I said, for a music teacher or just a teacher in general. Now, like I said, for a roundabout PC, it's pretty average. I mean, it has a processor, the Core i7 processor. I think it's a 7550. So that's 2 years old. So, like I said, just as an average computer, it works pretty well. I mean, and yeah, you got the rotation too, so you can use it in portrait or landscape mode. That makes it really cool as well. But like I said, as an all-around PC, because for those who not just use it for business or for work, you want to use it for personal business as well. So browsing the internet, watching movies on here, battery life is subpar. It's not par, it's a little subpar. So this thing runs between 3 and 4 hours. Just running just regular stuff, not just video watching or surfing the web, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to just do those particular things, video watching or web browsing, on your computer. You're going to be playing games on here, things like that. So when you see or hear that computers last, 11 hours, for the most part, it's just video play or web browsing. So that's where they try to get you to think that it runs for that long. So make sure you read the fine print. So like I said, on average, 3 to 5 hours when I'm using it for pretty much everything that I do. And like I said, that's for work and that's for personal use as well. So I've ranted and raved about this. However, the one thing that I did not use this for, even though it could have been used for this particular thing, gameplay. Like I said, the processor is 2 years old, and so there are certain games that I cannot run on here, even if you tweak it at the lowest settings in the graphic settings. There are just some games that could not run, especially the newer games that are being made right now. So, for example, Mortal Kombat 11 will not run on here. So, like I said, I wanted to, I thought about this for at least a year, upgrading that Galaxy Book. So what kind of stopped me from upgrading was having this right here, this GPD Win 2. I mainly use this for PC gaming because there's a lot of games that run on here, surprisingly, that doesn't run on here. Even though this has a Core i7 processor, this has an M3 processor. So this has a much lower processor, but runs more games than the Galaxy Book. So me having this right here, kind of stopped me from updating the Galaxy Book because I said to myself, I'll use this for work, I'll use this for play. However, carrying all these devices sometimes can be a little cumbersome, even though it's kind of cool just to have one just for gaming. So I wouldn't have to worry about battery loss for doing work on here. And you probably wouldn't want to do work on here anyway because of the small 6-inch screen. So like I said, having this right here for work, this right here for gaming is kind of cool, but having this on the lowest settings, because if you want to run some of the newest games or games with a lot of graphics on there, you got to run this at the very lowest settings in the graphics in order for certain games to work. However, even though certain games are in the lowest settings, they still ran slow. For example, Soul Calibur 6. Don't install it on here. I don't care how low of the low settings that you set it at, it's going to run slow. So don't do it. Save yourself trouble. Mortal Kombat will not run on here at an optimal speed for gameplay, especially online. So save yourself the trouble. Older games, yeah, no problem. So if you got Doom, yeah, it's going to run on here. You got, what's that game? Tip my tongue. Well, too many games. Like I said, the older games, it's going to definitely run on here. So Sonic Racing, I got that on here. It runs pretty well. And that runs on medium on here, Sonic Racing, All-Stars. But like I said, long story short, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to upgrade to. And like I said, there's so many different computers on the market. And it took me a while, a good while, to say to myself what computer I will decide to get. So here are some quick points on things that I looked at to tell myself this computer is good for me as an upgrade from my Galaxy Book. So let me just tell you the quick points that I looked at, and hopefully those particular things can help you when it comes to upgrading your computer. So first thing I had to look at was price. So 10 times out of 10, not 9 times out of 10, but 10 times out of 10, the price will deter you from buying a computer. Even if you have a credit card to put on the credit card and you make payments on it, you're still paying the full price for that. But of course, putting on a credit card, you're going to be paying the interest on top of that full retail price. So again, price is a factor. So when I look for a computer, I'm looking to pay it off in like a month. So price is definitely important. So I do not look for a brand new computer. There are computers out there that are $1,500, $2,000. I've seen one for $4,000, a gaming computer. You can say you had that kind of cash, especially if you have a credit card, but making monthly payments, that's a hefty amount for a computer. So even for myself, $1,500, that's kind of steep. So I was looking for 1,000 or under, definitely under 1,000. So that's first thing that I look at is the price. So 9 times out of 10 for me, I will be getting a used computer. So the first place I look is eBay for computers. I mean, sometimes I look on Amazon, and sometimes I just type in a name of a computer or a company, whatever, and go on Google and see some prices. But eBay is the first place that I would go. Why? Because sometimes you can make an offer on a computer, and someone puts that option on there, and you can try to wheel a deal. And I've done that a lot, where I've wheeled and dealed for certain things to get it a lot lower than what they were asking for. It all depends on how desperate a person needs money when they're selling their device. So eBay is my first choice when it comes to price and buying a computer. A second thing that I look for, of course, is the type of computer. So I'm already in love with 2-in-1. So like I said, I had to find me a computer that was basically similar to my Galaxy Book, because like I said, this is thin, this is light, it does a lot of cool stuff. So I look for the type of computer. So 2-in-1s is for me. From there, I had to look at bezels, because as you kind of know, if you are looking at computers, what's a bezel, you ask? Well, the bezel basically is this black area that's on the side and the top bottom of a computer. The thinner the bezel, the more screen real estate you have, so you can see more stuff on your screen. The bigger the bezels, I mean, it just cuts off on your screen. So I definitely look for bezels, and if I can deal with bezel, because of course if it's thinner, you can definitely think it's going to be more expensive than ones that has bigger bezels. Excuse me. So I look for that. I definitely look for another thing, the processor. You already know, just like for a phone, any new phone that comes out, the processor is going to be newer than the one that preceded that particular phone. So, for example, with Samsung, the Snapdragon processor goes from 845 to 855, maybe 865, yada, yada, yada. You know the deal. So with the newer processor, it's going to run the phone or computer faster. But in a computer standpoint, I look for the Intel processor. So I don't really look at AMD. Even though AMD is coming along pretty well for themselves, I still just go with Intel. So I look for the Core series of processors. It has to be minimum i5, but hopefully i7. And if you got the money, get a Core i9. So the higher the number, the better the processor. So in my case, like I said, when it comes to what I want my PC to do, I want it for my upgrade, my PC to be for work and for gaming and personal use. Instead of me carrying a 2-in-1 plus the GPD win for gaming, I decided for myself, it's better just to have everything in one device. So, like I said, the processor is very important as well. So, like I said, if you have a lower processor, it's not going to be as fast as your higher ones. I mean, it'll still be pretty okay. I mean, depending on what you do with it. But as far as gaming, you probably want an i7 or higher. So, that's another thing. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. Another thing I look for, ports. Oops, excuse the wobble. So when it comes to ports, when I say ports, I'm talking about the connectivity on the side of the computer. So you want to look for it. Oh, it all depends on, like I said, on the accessories and things that you have. So here there are 2 USB ports. And what's cool about this computer here, this computer has these 2 little lightning bolts. Of course, you can't really see it because of the blur and everything, but I'm just letting you know that there are 2 little Thunderbolts right here. That means these USB-C ports also have Thunderbolt capability. And I'll explain that when I do my review on this unit. Another thing you want to look for, like I said, it all depends on the particular things that you have. USB port. So this has a USB type A port, so I can just plug in things that are just USB type A. Because on my Galaxy Book, which is a lot thinner than this one does not have a USB type A slot. So if you have particular accessories that's USB type A, you have to either get an adapter that goes from USB-C male to USB-A male or female. It's confusing. I'll show you in another video when I talk more about this. But you got to get adapters in order for a USB type A to work in a USB type C port. So like I said, you want to look for ports and make sure that it has all the ports that you want and need on your computer. Let's see over here. I think this is a display port right here. It's a little rectangle. Excuse the brightness. Maybe if I turn off the television, you can see it better. Yeah, I can. So we got here, this is, I believe, a display port. And don't worry about speakers, but yeah, you just want to make sure that it has ports for the usage that you want on your computer. And like I said, with a 2-in-1, it has a kickstand. Kickstands are also cool too. Okay, another thing that I look for, storage. Storage is definitely, well, it depends on what you're going to use it for. Storage could be a very important factor. So you see it right now in today's computers, and that's a selling point in a lot of computers, the storage. So you may see in some computers 256 gigabyte, 512 gigabyte, even a terabyte of storage on the computer. And with storage too is the speed of storage. So the speed, the read and write speed. So reading means just reading all the data that's on there. Writing means transferring information or programs or whatnot, documents, pictures, movies, games from one source to your storage. And so the speed can be a definite factor as well. So make sure that you know more about the speed, and make sure you know about the different types of storage that's out there. There's SATA drives, there's SSD drives. So those are the main two. Oh no, SATA is speed actually. So excuse me. So there can be disk drives. Excuse me. Ones that sit on disk, and the SSD, which is in storage that does not have any moving parts. So definitely look up the storages so that you can know more about that for yourself, and definitely look up the speed, because you definitely want to get a speed that's going to read and write your information as fast as it possibly can. But understand that the faster the storage speed, the more the device is going to cost because of that perk that you want to have. So storage is definitely a selling point for a lot of computers, because if you're going to be using it for games such as Mortal Kombat 11 or Final Fantasy 15, you should already, and definitely NBA 2K20. Those games are very large in gigabytes or in size. So NBA 2K20, for example, is 70 plus gigabytes large. So if you have a 256 gigabyte storage on your computer, you already know that some of the space is allocated just for the operating system. So you're losing some of that space on there. If you put like that and Final Fantasy 15 on your computer, you're going to take up a good amount of space on a 256 gigabyte, even though it seems like a lot. But because of games being larger and larger, because you can see pimples on people's faces and things like that, that's just going to be too small now. If you just have the older games, if you're an OG like me, you got older games or retro games, emulators, you don't have to worry too much about space for those particular games, because I just look to play the games for fun, not really for graphics and other things like that. But Even with retro games, if you're looking to get a nice collection of games on your computer, then storage is going to be important as well. So again, storage is going to be eaten up based on how you're going to use it. So definitely look up storage to make sure that your computer is going to be good for that particular aspect. And I think that's pretty much it. So like I said, no, that's not it. So you also want to look for portability. Portability meaning the size, the weight, the shape of it, things like that. Because if you're going to get a gaming computer, just in general, gaming computers can be pretty doggone thick, big, does it run? Oh, and I got another thing I got to talk about too, since I'm talking about gaming computers. So if they're thick, that means they're going to be big, might be a little heavy. So if you're, don't mind the heaviness and you get a pretty good backpack and a pretty strong back, then you shouldn't worry. So if you want thin, of course, thinner is going to be more money. Well, it depends on the computer, like I said. And like I said, because the thin is portability, so you're looking for weight. So the thinner it is, the lighter it is. However, you're losing out on other things such as maybe graphics, things like that. You can't put a graphics card in here because this is way too thin to put a graphics card. So there's a lot of different things that you got to look for, again, when it comes to buying a computer. And I had to look for all those particular things for me to make a decision for this one. And another thing, this is one of the main things that kind of sell computers and phones: battery life. Battery life is a huge business component when it comes to selling a computer. Like I said earlier in the video, a lot of computers kind of boast and brag about how long the computer lasts on a battery charge. However, like I said, when they do the test on the battery, and it sometimes kind of mention it, but they don't really mention it, off the bat when it comes to how long the computer lasts. So when a company says, oh, this runs for 11 hours, again, what was it doing for the 11 hours that it was running? Was it playing a game? You should already know that if you can't play a game or any game on any computer for 11 hours, that's pretty much impossible. I'm not going to even say pretty much. That's impossible. Unless you got a battery the size of a house, you know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what you're doing on the computer for it to last as long as it lasts. So like I said in my Galaxy book, even when playing games, even sometimes when it's idle, I'm not using or just using it through the day, 3 to 5 hours. Even though the battery is considered large, it still just runs 3 to 5 hours based on what I do on it. And so you want to try to find a computer that has a battery that's going to last for as long as it should for your daily use. Because again, you're not going to be sitting at a computer for no 6-7 hours anyway. But you want to make sure that throughout your day, when you're using it, it's going to have a charge where you ain't going to worry about it conking out on you if you're playing a game or making a presentation or something like that. So like I said, it all depends on what you're going to use it for, on how long the battery is going to last. If you're a gamer, you're most likely going to be tethered to an adapter so that you can play your games in peace without the machine cutting off or throttling, because if it gets too hot, it's going to throttle, which means that the heat on the inside is going to slow down the processing, things like that, where your game might slow down, and other things like that. So, like I said, there's so many different things, and then the worst part is that there's so many different companies that are offering computers. You got Dell, you got HP, you have Acer, you have even Google's in the business. You got Microsoft, of course, that's been around for a while. You got Apple, who sells some very expensive computers that don't do half of the things that a PC can do. It all depends on your preference. It depends on your dollar and your preferences as to what you want the computer to do. So with all those things, I'm telling you, it's going to take you a while, because you may even try to depend on review videos. on YouTube from people that say, this computer's great. Oh, no, this one's even better than this one. Oh, no, hold your money for this one. More expensive, but they have more dizzle dazzle. It's so much stuff. It's going to be overwhelming for a lot of just regular consumers. And so I'm talking to the regular consumer when it comes to upgrading your computer. So I'm not going to try to razzle dazzle you and say that this brand is better than the next brand. Any brand can be good for you. Any brand can be bad for you too. And how do I know this? Go on Facebook Marketplace. See how many computers that are on sale. You know what I'm saying? Go on eBay. See how many computers are on sale. So it's so funny that when you go on there and you see people selling a brand new computer or a computer that was made a month ago, you say to yourself, why are they selling it? And they just bought it. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, like I said, it's none of your business, none of my business why people sell it. But hey, if you can get a good deal from that person, then definitely jump on it. I forgot to mention too, so besides eBay being a good place to find a good deal, check out Facebook Marketplace too. Now, shopping on there can be very risky because you have no idea how a person is. If you decide to go over their house, which you better not, meet in a public place always, because things can happen that you have no control over. But if you can trust a person, you can find some really, really, and I mean really good deals. And the best thing about Facebook Marketplace, no tax. Because it's being bought by somebody that just needs money. I mean, stores need money too, but because it's a business, they got to follow tax laws, this, that, and the other. So right now, eBay and Amazon is charging tax on everything that they have. There was a point where they didn't. But now that they are, things are getting more expensive on those two sites. And so the best place, if you want to get something at the lowest possible price, but has a lot more risk. And number two, if you buy it on Facebook Marketplace and it doesn't work, you're flat out of luck. You can't go back to the person and say, excuse me, this doesn't work. I need my money back. That person is long gone with your money. So you got to be careful, because if you go back to their house, you might be trespassing. So you better test it out. Find a way to test it out. But if you're at a public place and you need to plug it in, you might not be able to do that. So that's very, very risky, because there's no money back guarantee when it comes to buying something on Facebook Marketplace, because it's kind of like a garage sale. You buy it, you bought it, it's as is. So it's a better safeguard buying it online, because you might have a 30-day money back guarantee or return policy, things like that. So it's all dependent on how you want to shop. There's lots of different ways. Like I said, lots of different companies, lots of different things to look for. So with all that, and like I said, I'm going to make a video on what I got, and I just got this basically yesterday. So right now I'm kind of tired because I've been installing all kinds of stuff on here. I got this particular computer to basically, replace my Galaxy Book, because this is going to be good for work. It's going to be great for work, and it's going to be great for gameplay. I've already tested out a couple games, and this has an Intel graphics card inside, so just a basic Intel card. So I can run games at their lowest setting on here a whole lot better than this, because this is 2 years older than this one. So things, of course, have improved. But what's also cool about this, like I said, the USB Type-C ports on the side, they have Thunderbolt capability, which means I can put on, if I decide to, which I will, because I'm getting one in a couple, I would say about 3 or 4 days, a graphics dock. And what that is, it's a dock that has a desktop graphics card in it. So it's a chassis or enclosure that you can put a graphics card in, where you can soup up the graphics on a computer that has Thunderbolt capability. Because in order for you to use that graphics card or dock, you gotta have Thunderbolt capability. So because I do have it on here, I will be able to play your AAA games at ultra settings or even high settings, or ultra is of course the best. So you can get frame rate 60 or even higher than that depending on the graphics card that you get. So like I said, it took me a while to find this computer. I finally got it, and I'm going to be making a review video on this computer. So if you like the video that I just made, because I'm tired, I'm done. Like I said, I'll do a review video on this one soon. If you like this video and the information that I told you about, definitely give me a thumbs up. And if you have any comments or anything that you want to say about my video and what I said about things to upgrade, then definitely leave some comments in the comment section. And if you want to know more about the new videos that I made, then definitely subscribe to my channel and click the bell button so that you can get updates on new videos that come out when I make them. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and tell your friends about my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video.